welcome back, Nuzlocke Vlogs, where I vlog and I Nuzlocke and I Nuzlocke vlog and I play Pokemon and I talk about my life and how's my life doing. My life's going. It's going. It's just kind of ordinary. I'm gonna start this off by actually pulling up schedule. I'm doing lots and lots of video essay writing, a whole lot. I got done this week. I did some good work on the Hard Traveling Heroes video, and I should tonight get the Blackbeard video done. That one's gonna only be like 30 minutes, and I'm looking at like about 40 minutes for the epithets video, and those ones not being that long is good, considering that I need I'm trying to get those done in July. On the other hand, the Hard Traveling Heroes video is going to be long. Because I talk about, like, I do a lot of lead up and, like, some stories they're building it up, like Brave and Bold 85, In Every Man There Is a Demon. I even probably shouldn't have done it, but I wrote it and it was fun, and it gives us a good thing to contrast with. But I did, like, the O'Neill issues of Green Lantern before, what's the word? Before adding Green Arrow to the book and making, the Hard Traveling Heroes arc. And then today I finished writing up the 15 minutes. It's going to be a kind of long segment for one issue, but the coverage of, okay, careful, I can get that done. Good. Does Oddish or you have a Sandstorm? It's Oddish, right? Yeah, you're Poison Heal. Anyway, I got the part where I'm talking about the first issue of Hard Traveling Heroes, which is a really, really good issue. No evil shall escape my sight. And like, this is like the fourth time reading through it, and like just thinking about it and like what it has to say. I really do like something on this. Actually, it will only be my third time reading it, but on this most recent reread, something that really struck with me is that Hal has a temper. That's a very consistent trait that O'Neill gives him. Like at the start, a guy throws some fucking garbage and hits him in the head, and he's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" He doesn't say that. It's Bronze Age comic. He can't curse, but he's like, "Oh, I'm a cop, and I'm gonna beat you up because you threw some garbage at me." He loses his temper, and Ollie stops him before he hurts anyone. And anyway, later in the story, what's his name? Slade, not Deathstroke, an evil landlord who's the villain of that story. This evil landlord just fucking pisses him off, and he loses his temper. Hal's about to punch him, and then the guards are like, "Hal Jordan of Earth, the fuck, man? You can't beat up this guy. You've broken your oath and acted unforgivably. Now you're on timeout and gotta go deal with some fucking meteors by Titan, because this is unacceptable. Threatening to beat up this nice old landlord that evicted that old lady, or was gonna evict that old lady." And I really like that, because the whole point in that issue was Ollie trying to get Hal to see that his black and white, the law and order, just be a cop thinking doesn't really work in the real life, because the law isn't perfectly fair and it isn't impartial. And we see this with the fucking Guardians, with his cop boss, where they are hypocritical and have conflicting, often stupid standards for what should be allowed. And, God, it's such a good issue. I wish all of your Hard Traveling Heroes was good. Unfortunately, that's like a comic book run that was 13 issues, and in it has like 4 total readable issues. Like, man, Hard Traveling Heroes is okay. So it's 14 issues. There's "No Evil Shall Escape My Sight," which is good. There's the coal, or maybe it's iron. There's a mining town one, and that's good. There's the 2-part Native American one, and both parts are fine, but kind of flawed. Like the classic 4 issues of Hard Traveling Heroes are pretty good, but then there's like the very stupid issue where they go to the judge planet that's ruled by judge robots. And like in this series, where the reason this series is so acclaimed is it's tackling real issues and not just being random comic book bullshit. It tackles the big issue of you shouldn't put robots in charge of deciding if people are guilty for crimes because those robots will be bad. The robots will be bad at judging people's guilt. And like, sure. I mean, they're better than the Guardians because the Guardians suck at judging people's guilt and hard traveling heroes. But yeah, ooh, if I can get a Moonstone, that would be good. I'm gonna catch you, Nidoran, and who am I gonna catch? But let me do this comment before I continue trying to remember what the issues in hard traveling heroes are. Todoria Solen says every time the Doom Timeline Dave or Dave Sprite comes up, I always think of the doomed Rose giving her speech dialogue on being afraid of what happens after the timeline is fixed. Does she die, disappear, or is she stuck there for the rest of her natural life alone? Later, the addition of the dream bubbles and access to Doom timeline ghosts very heavily implies that the Doom Rose did indeed live the rest of her natural life alone in that lava-infested hellscape. Yeah, that's something to speak about, and I don't actually have a good answer to that. I will say one thing that I've got mixed feelings on Crow Strider. I've made that clear in the past, but Crow Strider does a incredible job with that question. It's one of, like, Dave Sprite being reunited. This is the wrong type of stone. Dave Sprite being reunited with his sister via Jaspros is such an excellent scene. I really do like parts of Crow Strider, if you ignore the parts that I don't like. Destiny McIntyre says Eridan isn't a tool, he's the entire goddamn hardware store, which is accurate. Like, I really love that scene with Jaspros hugging Dave Sprite or Crow in that story. But McIntyre or just MCI, Missing Children Incident, Destiny Missing Children Incident, what a good name. But yeah, I don't know if, like, this is even a bigger thing than that Rose. Apparently, like, Trezzy Remembers has like a reveal that reshapes the story that no one talks about. Synchronize, what has Duskull got? Actually, Flame Body on a bulky wall is pretty good. Trezzy Remembers reveals that all of the ghosts are still alive. Like, for instance, like, you have, I'm stumbling over my words. Like, normally in Homestuck, the assumption in the story up until that point is that when someone dies and their ghost, like, when someone dies and they get revived, that's still the same person. They aren't really dead. Except, in Trezzy Remembers, we see all of the ghosts of the people who have died, and that includes the ones who were revived. Like, when you get revived as a god, when they, like, kiss your dream self so you can wake up, yeah, that's not you. Like, they're still dead. So many Homestuck characters, the entire cast pretty much, are still dead. They've just been replaced with copies. That's what so much of Homestuck, and we can argue about how well it does this interesting plot point, how well it gets it over. But again and again, we see characters, Old Amber, although I can't use that yet, characters being replaced by themselves, by other versions. The Retcon is the biggest, most notable version, but we've seen it again and again every single time. Like, when John gets stabbed by Jack and then revived as a god, John is dead. When Dirk cuts off his head so he can save his friends, Dirk doesn't come back to life when Jake kisses him. Dirk is fucking dead. That Dirk is in the dream bubbles because he's dead. And that's, like, such an interesting thing that happens right at the end of the comic, so the comic doesn't focus on him much, but that is fascinating. The, like, reveal that all of these characters, they've been dead, and we thought they were alive. Also, I'm going to say that Rose is kind of still alive, the one from the Dave Sprite timeline. Like, her memories get reabsorbed by the normal main timeline rows that we focus on. So she remembers what happened. She remembers the Dave Sprite timeline. Although you could argue that no, she doesn't, because she's not the Rose from that. Like, and it's the same thing as what I was talking about, like with the goats. I honestly think it's likely that the Rose from Dave Sprite's timeline is still waiting there alone forever. Well, actually, not forever, because all of Paradox Space gets destroyed at the end of Homestuck, except for Earthsea, which isn't technically. Is Earthsea in Paradox Space? I'm not actually sure. It's kind of unclear. I think it's sort of in a different place. Like, I think Paradox Space is technically defined as like Lord English's domain, the things that are controlled by his powers and his effect on timeline. So Earthsea is not in Paradox Space until he drags it in via the black hole. Especially because we see the rest of Paradox Space get destroyed. Although actually, technically, in Beyond Canon, or maybe it's the epilogues that does this reveal. It's revealed that Earthsea is inside the pocket, so maybe actually it is. I don't know. It's complicated, and don't even get me started on the meat and the candy timeline. Like, the candy is inside the pocket, but meat doesn't seem to be inside the pocket. Not sure how that works. But yeah, really interesting stuff with that Rose, and maybe I'll talk about that more in a few months. Hey, that's foreshadowing of what this fall's video is on. But before I can work on that video, I gotta work on other videos. Yeah, so Bugsy killed my run last time, and I restarted specifically to spite Bugsy and make him lose. Did I catch a Pokemon at the bottom of the well? Did I catch the Pokemon at the bottom of the well, or did I kill it? Was I stupid, and did I just button mash and kill the Pokemon from the bottom of the well? Shit, I killed the Pokemon at the bottom of the well. What? Shit, what even is down there? I'll jog my memory as I go down there and fight something. Or do Pokemon not appear until Team Rocket is gone? Like, what's even down here? A Bidoof? I don't care if I don't get a Bidoof. But what else was there that I could have gotten if I wasn't ranting? Oh, a Smeargle. Yeah, Smeargle. Smeargle sucks. It's got like 200 something base. That Spinarak. Yeah, these replacements for Slowpoke and Zubat aren't good. I'm fine with having gotten... actually, I think it was a Marill. I think a Marill is jogging my memory. I vaguely recall seeing that. And Azumarill without the flying... Azumarill without the Fairy typing and probably without huge power just kind of sucks, so I'm fine. Anyway, we got to prepare for a gym, and I've got an interesting strategy for this gym. But first, I caught a new Pokemon. I caught Rastionske, whatever is the reason of that. Let's see, is your comment good? I actually think remembering your comment was kind of dumb. Airden and Equius are like Vriska if she never revived. Vriska, when she died, was the most beloved Homestuck character. No, she fucking wasn't. Have you ever interacted with the Homestuck fandom? Actually, wait, I was being stupid. Everyone hated Vriska. She's the most contentious, disliked character in the entire comic at the time she died. Vriska coming back from the dead did not make Vriska any less contentious, I would argue. Actually, no, I do need my execute. What am I doing in the box? Well, you'll find out in a minute. Yeah. Although you can be deposited. Actually, I should pick up that egg. I'm just figuring things out in my team order. Don't worry about it. Anyway, then her revival dragged her out and made her crap. Everyone hated Vriska before that. She did not become any more contentious. So I find the idea they should have stayed dead agreeable. Maybe either one could have been a better troll to revive than Vriska, but that's probably wishful thinking. They ended thematically. But reviving either of them would have been worse than Vriska, because at least Vriska being revived, and I've got mixed feelings, and I've gone back and forth in my videos about whether I like reviving Vriska, but like Vriska was a more complex character than both of them, and also the important thing, the main thing about Vriska being revived is it's because of Vriska's relationship with Terezi. It's Terezi uh, deciding something. It's Terezi changing things, and we can argue if Terezi is good or if improving Terezi's arc is worth making Vriska's arc better. And I don't know. I've gone back and forth in my videos, as I said. But like, yeah, I can accept that reviving Vriska is part of Terezi's character arc. But like, what is the reason for reviving Equius, you know? I don't know. But yeah, everyone hated Vriska way before she died. And no, oh god, I almost lost a Pokemon to a Ladybug, which is shameful because Ladybug is really bad. Actually, let's move this around. You may be wondering why I grabbed that one commenter's Pokemon. And you see, it's because I'm going to be exploiting some rules. Aftermath, that's interesting. Not really useful for my own Diglett. A, because I think it has a different ability, but B, because I don't plan to kill my Pokemon. Actually, no, I should heal before I fight Bugsy. See, in the rules I use for Nuzlocke, which are kind of vibes-based, and I've never really articulated them in this series, but in my rules for how I do these Nuzlocke vlogs, a lot of people do whiteouts count as losing all of your Pokemon, and then it's a game over. It's a game over if you get a whiteout. I don't do that. I like the idea that if I still have some Pokemon in the box, I can mount a comeback. I can defeat the gym leader and avenge my team. I've done runs where I've lost everything and then mounted a comeback. I had this one Sapphire run years and years ago where I lost all of my team by Magikarp in the box, and I daycared it until it evolved into Gyarados, and then as I was grinding it to try and take on Watson, I found a shiny Oddish, which I could catch, and like those two took me to the end of the game. It was great, avenging my team. Anyway, so this doesn't count as a game over. I whited out, but that just means I got a dead Pokemon in Valhalla. Okay? My other Pokemon that haven't died in battle are still usable. And the reason I did it that way was to see what I needed my lead to be against the fully evolved Pokemon with like 500 BST that totally wiped my team last time. Because I don't want my team to be wiped again. And is my team good? 17 is the level cap. I'm getting all four up to level 17. Just to be sure, I'm not losing to Bugsy again. And you may say, well, isn't the whole point of a Nuzlocke to appreciate your Pokemon and love them and like treat them with respect? I would not have used, even with the Nuzlocke rules, I would not have used that Cascoon. But now, as my first death, as the sacrifice to scout out Bugsy, it has become a valued, beloved team member I will remember. I will remember you, Brandon, is that its name? Bastiodon? Brashtian? Was it Brashtian? And there was like a sk at the end? I remember the name of my sacrifices. I'm too strong. There'll be stronger Pokemon to grind against here. And just keep making an uproar. So you're 17, you're the level cap, you're fine. The other important one to train up is the Execute, because Execute resists Water Gun. And just to be safe, I don't think you get a Mirror Coat yet, but just to be safe, I'm gonna whittle you down, just to be safe. Okay, it does get Encore, but that's fine. And because of the high HP, I bet I get a bunch of experience for this. Not really, no. Yeah, you may say, yeah, I was cheeky this time, but it's fine, it's fine. And let's go back to vaguely remembering Hard Traveling Heroes. After the judge one, which I think is issue 5, there's the eugenics one, like the overpopulation's a problem, so we need to deal with that issue. And man, that issue's aged poorly. I don't like that issue. It's the worst issue in the entire thing. And then there's the issue where Hal gets back together with Carol. There's the Harpy issue, which might be even worse, but it'll be fun to talk about in my video, because it contains the scene where Sinestro gets defeated by the police. Just a pair of just like some random cops off screen arrest Sinestro. It's great. Oh, he's supposed to be an intimidating supervillain. Power scalers say he can destroy universes, and this is the Silver Age version. He lost to, oh, what a fucking loser. But okay, so what is that? That gets us to 8 issues of the 14. There's the 2-part Snowbirds Don't Fly. That gets us to 10. There's Jon Stewart introduction. The 13th issue is the Jesus one. And then the 14th, which was printed as a backup in Flash Stories, is about Ollie killing a dude. What am I oh, the plastic one where Black Hand is there. That one sucks. There's a lot of mediocre issues in Hard Traveling Heroes. I would say the first 4, the 2-part Snowbirds Don't Fly, and the 13th, the last of the original run with the Jesus dude who gets crucified to death at the end. Those are the good ones. The others aren't great. I mean, some of them are fine, but those are the only ones that are just like the wow, Hard Traveling Heroes. And you know what? I don't feel like grinding anymore. I feel like the sacrifice of What's-His-Face has made us prepared to take on Bugsy, and we will be victorious. And actually, I'm gonna, just in case, grab another sacrifice instead of Pichu. Better make it 2 sacrifices instead. I love my Pokemon. I love all my Pokemon equally. I'm only doing this because I have to. And Pichu's in. I don't plan to use a Raichu. I just, it's good to, when you're running around, have Pokemon that need high friendship with you. I love all my Pokemon equally. Yeah, people are gonna, well, actually, no, I don't get any comments. I don't even know why I do these Nuzlocke vlogs. No one watches them. But I like talking about my week. And I didn't even talk about my week. How was my week? Shit, I forgot to rearrange my Pokemon. My week was fine. It was the election. And I had to stay late and cover the election. And all the people I wanted to lose, or all the people I wanted to win, lost. Yay. Well, that's not true. The January 6th guy, both of the January 6th guys that I talked about last week, they lost. And then a Weedle, really? Yeah. The January 6th guy's losing is fine. But yeah, I liked Kathy Dolter. I liked her big anti-war. That's the biggest issue, is we gotta stop going at war with Iran. That I liked, and she lost. And I liked Zach Walls' Democratic Party needs new leadership, and he lost. And Tri-Attack is actually probably pretty good at this point on my Pokemon. What's the Pokemon it's good on? It's probably pretty good on my Starly. So I had the election, and that's really all that's happened. I've gone back to writing historical column. I got permission to do that again like I'd done in the past, and I'm enjoying that. And yeah, thank you, Brett and Rufio, for being bench warmers. Let's rearrange my team. You are going back in the trash until maybe when I fight Whitney. I was gonna train up the Diglett, but I didn't get a chance, so it's just gonna have in the box, I think. Like, I order things by how likely I am actually to use them. I actually swapped these 2 around. Good. And I know I said I was going to use the Cherubi, but I didn't end up using it because it sucks. Like, it has Pure Power, which really I liked, but it didn't end up having any moves. And you know what? I'm going to run blind into a fight with Rival 2. There, see, I am actually encountering danger in this run. Well, not a lot of danger because it's a Chingling, but still. I shouldn't have used Uproar because... Wait, no, it will let me switch out. Ha! Yes, I am kicking your ass. Ha! Oh, all that experience. Oh, slop it down. Slop down the experience. Glare, and I'm going to switch out because... Yeah, just slowly whittle you down. And ha! Double boss win. And we have been victorious. And I will talk to you next week.